What is a toxic relationship? And is there a difference between toxic and abusive? We will get into that in today's video. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you have not already, make sure you take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much. Hey guys, it's Shay with It's Shay's Life, a lifestyle channel that consists of vlogs, makeup tutorials, fashion hauls, relationship tips and advice, and all showing life after a toxic relationship. If you want to know how to get out, or if you just got out, or you want to know what's on the other side of a toxic abuse relationship, stay tuned. In today's video, we're going to focus on what is a toxic relationship. A lot of people get this confused between toxic and abusive. I already have a video on what is domestic violence, and if you're a survivor or a victim of it, and you can click the link up here to check it out. So a toxic relationship is defined as a relationship that is characterized by behaviors that are done that hurt a partner emotionally and are physically damaging to a partner. So toxic relationships damages self-esteem and drains energy. They're characterized by insecurity, self-centeredness, dominance, and control. Abusive relationships are toxic, but not all toxic relationships are abusive. Abusive relationships threaten your well-being and safety, and toxic relationships do not involve facing danger. So that's the big difference between an abusive and a toxic relationship, and why abusive relationships can be toxic, but toxic relationships are not abusive. I also want to say that a relationship can start off toxic and turn abusive. And what do I mean by that? A relationship can start out with someone trying to manipulate you or control what you think, what you say, how your friends, anything like that. These are all signs of toxic relationship. When somebody is trying to manipulate the situation, trying to make you be who they want you to be instead of who you are, this is a toxic relationship. And it becomes turn abusive by it becoming more emotionally, mentally, or psychologically, even physically abusive, and even sexually. And I do want to say that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and you can be abused sexually by a partner. It does not always have to be a stranger or a family member or anything like that. It can be someone who you are in a relationship with. If somebody has to manipulate or control the other partner to get sex, that is a form of sexual abuse. Whether you had sex with them later, whether you stayed with them, that's not the point. So just in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month in April, I did want to point that out. So I want to go into the different types of toxic relationships. Not all toxic relationships are the same. You may see one of these, or you may see a combination of these things in toxic relationships. And some of it may even go into the abuse side like we talked about earlier. But not all toxic relationships are abusive, but all abusive relationships are toxic, which is why you will see them possibly intertwining. So the first one I want to talk about is the manipulator. So the manipulator does not consider your needs, but only theirs. So when you say that you need this, or you're saying you need this in a relationship, whether you need love, whether you need hugs, whether you need holding hands, whether you need your foot massaged at the end of the night, whatever the case may be, they're going to manipulate the situation to get their needs met, and they're not going to care about your needs at all. I feel that a lot of people manipulate their ways into people's hearts, knowing good and well that they have no right there, that the person said that they don't want these things, but they're going to manipulate their way to make it look like they're what you're asking about, praying about, all this kind of stuff. And I actually saw a post on Facebook recently that said when a guy asks you when you're on a date and they say, what type of guy are you looking for, what type of things are you looking for in a man, or anything like that, don't say it, because a guy who knows good and well that they don't really want anything with you, or they know that you may not want them or whatever, once you tell them what type of guy you're looking for, they're going to try to be that guy, to get their way, to manipulate their way into your life, and then they're going to do a complete 180 and become their real selves. And one thing that was told to me by someone very dear to me was when a guy shows you his true colors, believe it. So after that guy wiggles his way into your life and then the veil starts coming off and you see a different person, that's who the person really is. Not this person that they portrayed in the beginning, that they manipulated into your life. So that takes me into the liar. The liar will lie about anything to make themselves look good. So the liar type of toxic relationship takes me into the cheater. The cheater will cheat because they can or they want to. They have no respect for you or the relationship. The cheater will lie about cheating. The cheater will cheat just because they have the opportunity. The cheater will cheat because they see anything. When you're getting to know your partner, pay close attention to everything they say, and believe everything they say, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning, your partner tells on themselves, maybe without them realizing it, or maybe they're telling you so you can like run away or trying to see if you're really paying attention to what they say. The insecure partner. The insecure partner will become jealous of you and begin to not trust you and try to control you. And why are they insecure? 9 times out of 10, they're insecure because they're afraid you're going to do or are doing the same exact thing that you're doing to them. Also, they'll become jealous of you because you're achieving things that maybe they want to achieve or don't want you to be in the spotlight. Stuff like that. And just as a side note that just came to mind, these don't necessarily have to be romantic relationships. This can be a friendship. This can be a sibling, a parent, aunt, uncle, anything. Like, toxic relationships are not necessarily only for significant relationships. They can be across the board for any type of relationship. So if you see this happening in any of your relationships, these are red flags that you need to be paying attention to, and you need to get out of that relationship if you can. Now, with a family member or parent or even a sibling, you can't necessarily get out of that relationship, but you have to be mindful to set certain boundaries with these people that they will not be stepping over them, and they know that you're not taking anything from them, any crap from them. The perfectionist. You're never good enough for them the way you are right now. They always want to change you. It'd be better if you did this, it'd be better if you look like this, it'd be better if you dress like that. You are perfect the way you are. You are perfect the way God created you. Your personality is perfect. Everything is perfect. Do not feel that you need to change for someone else. If you see yourself changing to match what this person wants, then that is not the person that God has for you. Because the person God has for you will not force you or try to control you or manipulate you to change so they're happy being who they are. The controller tries to control every aspect of your life. So just like with the manipulator, the controller tries to make sure that they have control. And just like, the insecure, manipulator, controller, I feel like these all in line. If you see one, you probably will see all of them. Because they want to make sure that they have a hand in who you are, and then they want to say that they made you who you are. And so there's a difference in growing in a relationship and changing because you see that there's a need to change. That is going to be best for you and your partner, and as you get older you become wise and you're like, this doesn't really make sense, why am I doing this? Like, I could be doing that instead. That's different than somebody trying to force you to change and changing everything about you. One-sided relationships, so one person is trying harder than the other. You will see this in toxic relationships. You may even see this in abusive relationships where you feel like you're doing everything you can to save the relationship, to do this, to do that. And your partner knows. Your partner knows that you're doing all this stuff, that you're trying to sell yourself as this perfect mate. And they want you to do all these things because they crave that attention. And so be very careful that in a relationship, it's not 80-20 or even 50-50. It should be 100-100 every step of the way. Everybody should be getting their 100%, because if it's not, you need to walk away and go and be found by somebody who really wants to love on you and be with you and be everything that you need, and vice versa. Idealized relationships. I have a video on this already. Idealizing marriage, it was, and I'll put the link up here. But when you're idolizing relationships, you're holding the other person in a higher regard than they need to be, and then you end up finding yourself in a relationship longer than you have to be, because you're putting this person, you're esteeming this person, you're putting this person on a pedestal, and you're idolizing being in a relationship. You're idolizing the thought of this person, and it's not even the fact that you're with this person, because 9 times out of 10 you may not even like this person. But the fact that you're with some person and you possibly leading up to marriage or leading up to all the stuff that you're wanting, you're idolizing, is causing you to be in this type of relationship. And when you're idolizing that, you're part of the toxic problem. Not saying that what this person is doing to you is not wrong, but we have to be careful that we're not adding to the toxicity. So I know in my relationship, this was a part of my toxicity that I was bringing in, that I was idolizing marriage, that I was idolizing being in a relationship, that I was bringing that part of myself, that part of that toxic self to a relationship, that I was ignoring all these other sides and all this toxicity and all this abuse that I was getting, just because I was idolizing the relationship so much that I was willing to withstand all this abuse that I was sustaining. So it's very important that you work on yourself, that you're not bringing anything negative like that, any toxicity like that to a relationship, that you that it foreshadows the toxicity that is being brought into a relationship that can damage you and harm you. So these are just some of the things that I wanted to go over to show you what a toxic relationship is. If any of these things line up in your relationship and you want to get more information, please reach out to me. My information is below. If you want some advice, where to go, it is not healthy to stay in these types of relationships. And then you find yourself constantly getting in these type of relationships if you don't get healed from it. So just know that there is life outside of that, and you can be in a healthy relationship, and God has somebody for you that will help build you up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And remember, we're only growing from here. I'll talk to you later. Bye.